why I started here, but you get to see me quit the game.
But anyway, like I said, there's 5 Onimusha games on PS2, and then they never made any again. They remade the first one for PS4, or I guess HD'd it. So yeah, can anyone think of a series where they were just like a company just hit it hard, and then they were just like, we're done? Ben, can you think of any examples of that? I guess you could.
Dead Space.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair. That is a good one.
yeah. Dead Space is like that's like classic like EA expecting this franchise to make so much money, and then they like overinvested. Okay, so why I
and
skipped?
actually Lost Planet too.
Yeah,
That's not kind of
they made 3 of them. Yeah.
And yeah, Lost Planet 3 was like a disaster. So the reason I loaded a save file is that this is another one of those Demon Realm things where you go through 10 floors.
Nice.
But this one is like really boring. Like they just spam the the most gruntest of enemies, like those green lizard men, and they'll just spam like 20 of them a floor. So it was like really boring. But you also get a really good item, which is like surprising how good it is for how relatively easy it was. But this lets you use magic attacks, and it uses less magic.
Oh.
So yeah, that's amazing. Oh, I forgot to mention this. So if you clear out the shop in the beginning town, you buy every single giftable item that gives you this. And it's actually really good because you restore all your vitality. And it's pretty fast too. Like you only have to wait for like a minute for like a full health restore. So especially in a game like this where like health is so limited, that's also amazing.
Yeah, Ben gave us 2 good examples there. Like, there's some that you can think of that, like, haven't made games recently, like Metroid or F-Zero, but, I mean, they had a fair share of games, like, over a period of time for both of them. Like, at least F-Zero had 3 games over, like, 3 console generations.
But this is, like, over,
a
single generation.
I would say either a single generation or a span of, like, 5 to 7 years. Even if they had, like, say, one on the PS4 or whatever, you know? Like, if they was, like, 4 on the PS3 and 1 on the PS4, I might still count that. But, yeah, Dead Space is a great example, and honestly, they could make another one, but...
You could play Isaac Clarke in, like, PlayStation
Dude,
Stars.
You know the worst thing about Dead
Whatever
Space?
the Smash clone for PlayStation was.
You could really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They really wanted Isaac Clarke to be, like, a character.
Cool.
Even though he didn't speak at all in, like, the first game, and then he was not an interesting character once he started speaking.
I think Dead Space 2 Isaac is alright.
But he's not...
Hello again, Jubei.
I don't know. He's not compelling enough.
The problem is that Dead Space... So I always held this opinion that I think silent protagonists are good in games that are like RPGs or early on, like, the early on era of video games where there wasn't as much production values. But like once you have full like cinematics with other people talking and there's like a complicated story going on, I just don't think it works anymore for a silent protagonist.
Yeah.
And like, especially in Dead Space 1, it's very awkward because they talk about this girlfriend that Isaac has, that his girlfriend's dead.
He doesn't...
And
spoilers.
he... spoilers, I guess.
Although it's, like, very easy to deduce.
Yeah. And, like, the thing is that, like, they talk... Like, his girlfriend talks to him, and he doesn't say anything.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Who read that word salad?
Oh no.
I can do this one.
Did I have this from last week? I was about to get up and get a Mountain Dew.
I noticed it. I was like,
And there's just one sitting here, and I think I'm gonna have a week-old Mountain Dew. You ready?
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna die. Like,
it's probably not bad.
yeah, sodas are so, like, artificial anyway, there's nothing to go bad in them.
It also
except for
looks like pretty much full.
Yes. I sip my sodas, bruh.
Do you just not come down here during the week?
I do. I was actually down here. Oh no, you know what? This is from the other day because I was actually down here a little more this week than I normally was. Because I was laying here on the couch and watching Hell's Kitchen on the TV, and it was great. Because I was sick of Sugar's BS, and I put her in the cage and just came downstairs where it was cool and dark and just laid there and watched Hell's Kitchen, and it was awesome.
And there was no dog that was whining at you.
Yep, it was pretty sweet. I like Sugar, but she's also a punk. We get into fights. So, there. But yeah, I wish, man, Ben had 2 good examples, and I can't think of any of that, of series that were hit hard and then just stopped. And I always kind of look around, and I'm just like, at the room, and I'm just like, one's gonna come to me, and just being a pleb.
I mean, you could say like something like Crash or Spyro because they had like some really good games and then they got sold.
Yeah. No, that's
and then they just died.
fair.
Crash until
Crash is coming back, but for like 15 years.
Yeah, that's a fair one because yeah, after they made they had one 360 era Crash and one 360 era Spyro that came out very early in the system's life, and that was it.
Well, I think...
Which was weird because there was like 5 PS2 Spyros.
But those are also like really beloved. So
I mean, Dead Space is pretty beloved.
That's true.
Oh, for the most part.
That's true as well. Like beloved enough to like.
Oh, Fear. There's an example.
Yeah.
Fear had 3 games on the 360, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, Fear.
Because I'm guessing Fear 3 was pretty bad. I'm just guessing.
I can't recall.
Fear 2 also wasn't very good. The only thing I played all the Fear games. I mean, I never finished the third one. Okay, I don't think I'm going. I never finished the third one because the third one is horrible. But even the second one was like a direct downgrade.
Ooh, Time Splitters. 3-in-1 console generation.
Yeah.
And then who was that? EA?
That was.
I think that was EA.
Was it? I don't think so.
I mean, published by them, obviously.
Yeah, it was. Time Splitters was published by.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not the first game. I'm not exactly sure, but I remember the second one.
Street Splitters 2 is like an all-time.
Hey, Streets of Rage, 3 games for Genesis, and then they make another one for 20 years.
Free Radical Design.
Yeah, but published by EA.
Yeah, who cares who it's published by?
It's, I mean, okay.
I mean, Dead Space was made by Visceral.
Yeah, I mean,
it definitely died.
People
because
give
of
EA crap, but they haven't developed a game like in a
Even
while.
the Battlefield games are made by DICE.
Yeah, Battlefield by DICE. Star Wars by. Who makes the Star Wars games? But yeah, the EA gets the crap for that, not DICE, and not.
Battlefront was made by DICE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fallen Order.
Evil.
I'm trying to think. I was about to say it was made by Visceral, but I think Visceral was.
Damn, you got shot by the Phantom Bullet.
Oh,
yeah. So this is another companion thing. If my
oh, you said this guy's awful.
Yeah. So when I was playing him, I figured out how to play him, so he's not too bad.
Hey Ben, I started watching Crontendo again from the beginning, and that's my thing. That's my.
Oh, he didn't spend 2 minutes reloading.
You fool!
So you're gonna see how much this guy shoots. So fast, so much.
That's my version of The Office. If I'm like doing like just work or whatever, I just have it on in the background.
That was the first thing that replaced The Office for me.
Good. And all I have to say is my favorite game company of all time, I hope I'm pronouncing them right, is Micronix.
Yes.
I just love how like Dr. Sparkle knows enough that he's just like, and here we have another game by our favorite Micronix, and I'm like, I always, whenever he says that, I always pay attention because I just know it's gonna be like the worst thing ever, and I'm like, yeah,
Like, this game sucks.
I'm so excited.
This is like the
I want to get
effort thing.
I want to get the cartridge for what's that monkey game? Super Monkey Daiboken.
Yeah.
I want to get the cartridge for that. I wonder if it's expensive because it's like notoriously bad. I don't do any Japanese stuff, like in terms of like collecting, so I have no idea. But that would be very fun to own, not to play.
It would be. Oh, those are just the ectoplasms from Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. Those ectoplasm things are like some of the best things to farm souls with, because they'll suck in all. They'll suck in all the remaining souls.
Feel my power.
Hey, that's another good example. Castlevania. Remember when they made those?
Hey, know about machine guns?
I don't know about that.
Feel my power.
Okay, cool.
Remember when Silent Hill games were made? I remember.
Oh, that is. Well, I don't. That's not necessarily.
I'm not saying it as an example. I'm just saying, do you remember how Konami was the best video game company for at least 10 years and now doesn't exist? Like, what?
What a pivot! What a turn! What a
pivot!
Actually, what a betrayal!
And you
I'll
know
say
what?
that.
They were the best game company, I want to say, in the early to mid to late 90s. And even their stuff in the mid 2000s was great. And then all of a sudden they were just like, we're done. And it's a shame. It makes me sad. I think that's the big thing that's going to be troublesome with games going forward is every year more and more games are made by the same big 3, 4, 5 companies, you know, Activision, EA, and I understand a lot of times these games aren't developed by these companies, but something published by a company is essentially, you know, owned by them, so they have a lot of rights into it. And it's a shame that there's not a lot of these mid-sized companies. Like, I'm very glad that Capcom still exists, even though they suck real hard sometimes. But, like, it's
Capcom's definitely not a AA studio. They're definitely AAA.
I guess that's true.
I mean, they're probably not investing enough money to be able to make, like, GTA 5, but they definitely invest a good amount.
That's true. I just miss a lot of the... There's just no AA's, like Trevor said. It's either AAA's or very, very, very indie games, you know? And that's sad, because there's a lot of, like, very interesting games that came out in the PS2 era. I've played a lot of them. Ghost Hunter, as an example. It's not an all-time classic, but it's a game that would, like, never be made today.
Okay, so you're not, like, you can't even see what's happening, but there's another one of those big red minotaurs, and, yeah, this is the safest way to do it. So I was having a lot of trouble with this guy. I was kind of playing him for a while today, and I just couldn't understand how to play him. But yeah, you just play it very patiently. And he's dead.
Nice.
Because when you use his, like, here's his melee attack, if I can even do it. It is the slowest thing. He, like, does, like...
I'm actually gonna go on a limb and say patience rules, Ben.
No, not good. So I think it's bad.
Just say. I miss... Like, I know that there's a lot of horror games that come out on PC, and I'm very appreciative that the genre is still alive and well, but it also makes me really sad that it's just something that doesn't come to console for the most part. Like, okay, Remothered is getting put onto console, and that's great, but, you know, it's not a great game. Like, I want to see, like, a lot of the really decent stuff coming out get to put to console.
What about Soma?
Soma will probably always be on PC. I don't think,
Oh, talking about Soma, did you know that Amnesia Rebirth is coming out this Halloween or October?
I'm coming for you, Jubei.
now, is Rebirth just a...
I think it's a sequel, because
Oh.
the protagonist, I think, is female.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was one of those just, like, HD, like, you know.
I don't know if it's like it might be a reimagining, it might be a sequel.
That, I mean, I'd be cool with that. Well, that's a completed Shocks for you. I'll definitely get that. I need to get another hard drive on this computer, because, or I guess I can you save Steam games to externals?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to start doing that, because I'm running out of space with all
Obviously,
this
it doesn't
Steam
have
stuff.
a super big hard drive because it has an SSD in there.
Yeah. I always every week move over the LP videos, but holy crap, depending on the week, it takes some space. But luckily I got that 2T external, baby. But yeah, I'll have to start installing the Steam games on there, because them's big.
Do you think a flamethrower existed in 16th century Japan?
Yes. And by that I mean they would just
Alright, so here's a really weird thing.
I
set like a
think so,
kendo stick
actually.
on fire. What is this?
And that's not ironic. Well, I don't think it worked like that, but...
So this thing...
Well, they would have propellant back then, right? Like, obviously not gas, but they would have something like that.
So
Yeah.
This enemy in general is really weird. We just picked up like a little, I don't even know what it is, a scroll or something, but it basically makes you able to remove the petrification off of people. But this thing steals it, and I don't even really understand how to like attack it. And, like, you can't, it doesn't lock onto it, and it seems like you do damage when you're doing this. Okay, it died. But like the first time I did this, I was just like, what is going on? I was like using the regular gun.
Does it normally leave? Like you did when you had to leave, like when you had to walk out?
Yeah, it left. It leaves after a little while. The first time it shows up, it seems to leave really fast, but otherwise when you re-enter, it doesn't leave as fast.
That's interesting. I like that block. You're holding block, and then he just like magically blocks.
If this game had directional blocks, it'd be unplayable. Get out of the way.
All I can think of when earlier when Trevor was fighting that big Minotaur, and like Ben was talking about blocking it, is like you can block Nightmare's attacks in Soul Calibur, so you can block anything. Like Talim can hold up those like two little, like, I don't know, whatever weapon she uses and block that huge Nightmare sword. It's like, yeah, alright. Sounds good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Soul Cal 2 is cool. I kind of forget, we played Soul Cal 6, right? And it was like, it was pretty enjoyable.
It was
Yeah, it's
still
pretty good.
cool, but not as cool as 2.
Well,
Are you alright?
4 was not cool. 5 was okay cool, and then I guess 6 is...
Apparently 3 in arcades was really good, but the console port is horrible.
Huh.
I really like 1, 2... I like 6, even though it like changed the entire cast. I think they were just trying to like breathe new life in the franchise, and people rejected it.
You know, it's weird because Soul Calibur 2 was a PS2 exclusive, so you think it would actually be pretty good since they didn't have to port it to a bunch of consoles and stuff.
Did you say 3?
3, I'm sorry, 3. So you think it would be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
But everyone, I mean, I'm just taking their word for it because I don't think there's a main dump for Soul Calibur 3, so like you have to have an arcade board. To
Let's
play
get
it.
that arcade board, baby.
It's really convenient that, like, the cure to petrification is in the same cave he gets petrified in.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. It makes a lot of sense. I don't even know what it is. Powder tube. It just has a tube of powder that does the specific thing you need it to do, and it doesn't run out. So Ben, what were we talking about before Spencer
We were
left?
talking about, like, franchises that they went hard on and then ended up not.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually a little bit before. The rest was just, like, kind of a miscellaneous spiraling out of that topic.
I would
But we
say
did-
that Mega Man sort of is like that. I mean, they made a billion games for it, and obviously Mega Man 11 came out a couple years ago, but...
Well, I guess this discussion is, like, always kind of going to be bound by, like, what you consider to be going hard and, like, what you consider to be, like, abandoning it. Because Mega Man is still, like, very much in the consciousness of gamers, and Capcom is still putting...
I think they just, like, released some new Mega Man mobile game, but it was, like, a gacha game, so I was not interested at all.
Yeah. I think the best example that...
Oh, God.
I still think the best examples were Dead Space, I think, because they really wanted Isaac to be a character, and then Lost Planet because they wrote that was Capcom too. They wrote that hard, and then like it just nothing after 3. It just stopped completely, and nobody talks about Lost Planet anymore. Anyway, I didn't play it.
I only know about it because it, like, obviously comes in the store.
Yeah. But like they were hard on it for a while.
Are you in the room right after the yellow seal that you can break with Thunderhammer? I don't know if you're still in Gifu Castle or not.
No, I'm
Demon Cave?
Yeah, Demon Cave.
Here. Guessing that's probably it.
No, I'm figuring this out myself.
Okay. Okay,
Hmm.
so what Trevor's doing right now is he's figuring it out by himself.
Well, we have to move this one. It has to go in the top right. I gotta do this first.
Yeah. That's obvious.
And then I think we should move this over because those
Yes.
top two I can just move
Yes.
down.
Oh, that
Yes.
makes sense.
And then so just moving this up.
Yeah.
And then gotta still move this over.
Oh, and then you...
move that down.
Wow.
Dang.
Dude, Trevor's the smartest. I mean, now that Nick's not here, Mr. High IQ himself.
That's me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I forgot, there's too many high IQ people in the room. It's very intimidating.
Yeah, I have 999. Nicholas, I believe, has 69 or something. I can't remember what he said.
I think Spencer said he had like 68 because Nick said he had 69.
Yeah.
And then I think I said I had 2.
By the way, 69 is not just like a joke because it's the funny number. It is below a very specific threshold.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, all I have to say is, nice. See ya.
Precisely.
Precisely.
Yeah, that's how 999 IQ people talk. They say stuff like precisely.
By the way, shoutouts to the Game Facts walkthroughs for this game. There's like several of them, and they're all
Awful.
horrible.
Yep.
So I think 3 of them are made by non-native English speakers, so they're already just like gibberish. So that knocks out 3 of them.
Dude,
And then-
I know that feeling.
And then 4 of them, I think 2 of the remaining 4 are incomplete,
There
so
must be a
I mean
trick.
those are worthless. And then the other 2 are just like
So-
bad and wrong.
I got
And like for example, the walkthrough I was following for this part. They didn't even mention this. They didn't even know that the blue necklace existed. I like looked up like the entire item list that they had, like every item, and like this one wasn't even in their guide at all. And it's like, okay.
Dude, Game Facts are some of the best things in the world.
So, I mean, the blue necklace isn't very good. In fact, it's probably the worst necklace, but it lets you absorb souls like it
Okay.
comes to you faster.
Dude, it's like, I love when they get like super preachy, where like you'll be like doing you'll be like reading it, and it'll be like, you know how to do this, come on, and you're like,
this is how you play the game.
and you're like,
this is
wait,
the only way to play the game.
wait, what? And then obviously some of the, I mean, you know, I assume people aren't still writing facts, although they might still be.
I don't know.
But some of
I don't know.
the older ones are hilarious. That one Ben read, that one Zelda Link to the Past fact is like amazing. That guy who just goes on, and I understand it was written like right after 9/11, but he goes
Yeah,
on and on about
there was,
9/11.
like,
It's just like incredible. Like I can't even.
The Game Facts Link to the Past, like FAQ dedication to 9/11 was amazing. I loved it. I remember that,
But yeah, Trevor is right. The majority of them are so bad. That's why when you find someone, like for instance with you guys might actually both know this person on Game Facts, but when you would be doing an RPG and you saw there was a fact written by ALEX, A space L space E space X Alex, you're like, oh my god, at least this is quality. Like,
God.
he always did like, and they were huge. So I guess that would be the one positive and negative of it. But a lot of times you would just load one up and they'd be like, go straight, go right, go straight, and you're like, okay, that's too little information. And sometimes they write it like the subspace emissary, you know, where it's like a billion words, and you're like, just tell me where to go. And there's like no in betweens.
And they'll just do like, it's like so many words, and they just write them in block paragraphs, and you're like, this is the least helpful thing in the world.
Yeah. Or they like interject their own personal stuff like every single second, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they make like jokes about it, like someone would write about this romance we're about to see and be like, things are getting hot and heavy, huh? Smiley face with the pea mouth. I don't know how else to say that.
tongue sticking out.
With tongue sticking out, yeah, there we go.
One side of the mouth.
Eh?
No, it's like
Or facts that use that like Kirby face, the one with the like greater than arrows.
yes.
so good.
Just like an artifact of an earlier era, which GameFAQs just is. It is like a living, like breathing art. It's a living.
I really
it's
hope
the Silicon.
I really hope they never try to like. I don't know who owns it anymore, but I really hope they never try to take it down. Does he really?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't
I
know.
thought CNET bought it. But
Yeah.
that might have been
And
years
then
ago.
GameSpot.
Yeah, GameSpot bought it, but I think GameSpot was like bought out by someone possibly.
I just really hope like if there's ever plans to shut it down, because it is a great like archival of like honestly gaming history. It like I really hope that there's like a thing to like keep it going if there's ever any problems, because yeah. I mean, you can't obviously see, for the most part, really old
I will say that
messages,
for the
but-
most part, Wayback Machine is pretty good for stuff like that, especially popular sites.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but you should still just not take GameFAQs down. Because, well, actually, I have no idea who's using GameFAQs.
I remember
to be
getting
honest.
pretty salty when they would have like the daily polls, and it would be like best game of all time, and the game I wanted to win would be like losing real bad.
Words.
And I remember being pretty salty certain days, and I'm just like, how can Super Mario RPG lose to Halo or something like that?
That's a good example. The last like best game of all time poll that I remember like paying attention to was like right after Undertale came out.
And I'm sure it won the whole thing.
It did.
Oh my god.
It did. So like that's, which I don't think is like necessarily like
Do you think that's skewed at all?
like Undertale's like a really good game. Like it's fantastic.
Ferris certainly loves it.
I would not say it's the best game of all time, but it's the whole idea of like right after release, there's a lot of hype for it. Like, so yeah, I get it.
I mean, I don't get it being the best of all. Like, it shouldn't even be on the dang list, but
Oh, well, okay, I think it deserves to be on the list. Like that's for sure, but like I don't think it deserves number one.
okay, Toby Fox.
No.
Why do you even know who made it?
Okay, there you go.
I told
That-
you.
that's-
I told you that Ferris really likes that game. I have played it so many times, and he has tried so many times to get the pacifist ending. I can't even begin to tell you.
Wait, he knows like what pacifist even is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely like saw it on YouTube or
Yeah.
something.
You must have missed me.
But like apparently, because I've never been able to play the whole dang game with him. But apparently something always happens where he's not able to get the pacifist ending. I don't know if there's like
You can't kill anything.
I don't know. Maybe he
Yeah,
accidentally
it's really
does
easy
that.
to not kill things.
I don't know. Is it easy for a 7-year-old to do anything?
Oh my god, he's 7.
Not usually.
He's not usually 7.
Yeah. Not until recently.
Ready?
Jubei, ready?
You know what?
So that door that I was messing with right now, the fossilized bones, you get the fossilized bones for trading with people. And I don't think I did it right, so I'll probably make some sort of save where I show that off. I think you get the best sword in the game there.
Ooh, I'd like to see that.
I think what I messed up on, the ninja, gun guy, and then the girl, I did all those right, but I think the big fat guy I didn't do right for whatever reason, even though I definitely gave him a billion gifts, but whatever.
I think it is still true to say that he is not usually 7.
Yes. Not usually. Not till a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I promise you. But yeah, it's I'm
There's a lot of these Minotaurs.
Ben. I'm very familiar with Undertale. I'm very familiar with Undertale. So it's a fine game.
Have you played through it independently by yourself?
No.
At your own pace, reading all the dialogue and all the stuff that's going on.
No, unfortunately, Ferris ruined everything for. No, let me take that back. I said that wrong. Spoiled everything.
Are you?
Because I was like actually interested, and then he was like in the very beginning, he was like, "Oh, this person ends up doing this," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, bud, thank you."
Yeah, that's definitely one of those games that going in blind
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, did you know about the secret boss? Blah 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 blah." And it's like, "Thanks, bud." Here you go. I mean-
this one's easy. I think.
But anyway, game facts. Nice. Remember game facts?
But yeah, I remember game facts. But yeah, I'll probably play it at some point, Undertale. But you know, kids when they get excited and they spoil everything. So it kind of is what it is. It still made me a sad panda because I saw him playing it. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I might want to play it. And then he was like, oh, every spoiler. And I'm like, bud, okay. I also never want to play Mario Odyssey because he, like...
He spoiled it.
Not necessarily spoiled because it's a Mario game, but, like, he told me everything about it 5 billion times. And I'm like...
Yeah, Mario Odyssey is a really weird game where... I think a lot of the 3D Marios you can just play over and over and over again, but I think Odyssey is one of those once and done games. If you go in as blind as possible, it's like as good as possible.
Yeah.
Because
So-
it's like it's the most scavenger hunt that
Yeah.
Mario's ever been. So if you know like where everything is, then it's like not fun.
There's nothing quite as there's nothing that ruins anything quite like the unrestrained excitement of a child.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, like, spoilers, like, I'm glad that, like, you know, he doesn't play the games I do normally, or else it would quite be, everything would be instantly
Imagine
spoiled.
Ferris playing Last of Us Part 2.
Oh my god, don't. That one scene, oh, it's forever in my freaking memory. Anyone who plays that game knows exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't have to go into it anymore.
Well, hold on. We've got a new video series coming out. It's Ferris Reacts, and the first video
God,
is The Last of Us 2.
Oh god. I don't even know why I played that game looking back on it. But whatever. I did. And then I was a certain amount of hours in and I was like, I guess I'll finish it.
I never played The Last of Us, and I don't know anything
The Last of
about
Us
it.
1 is a very good game. The Last of Us 2 is a very long game. That's my review.
Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop playing.
Dude, ask someone who's played it. Be like, hey, someone I know reviewed Last of Us 1 and 2 this way, and see if they agree. Just ask anyone who's played it. And that's it. The end.
Is it a good story, at least?
That's the big problem with it. It's,
You didn't say yes or no.
it's...
We're done.
See ya! Last of Us 2, Last of Us Part 2 is like fan fiction gone wrong.
Okay.
The end. That's my review.
Alright, bye.
See ya. Sheets!